Hello everybody, welcome to What Culture Gaming. We're still reeling from the state of the country, but it doesn't matter because E3 is next week.
You have to be impartial, don't we?
No!
All views are not the views of What Culture.
Well, that's true.
But the views of me and Scott.
Yes, there you go.
And a large proportion of the country.
Yes. Anyway, not to worry, E3 is next week. I'm Scott, this is Peter.
Hi.
Hi, and we're going to talk about E3 like we did last year. Because actually, last year when we talked about it, we accurately predicted that Spider-Man was going to show up.
Yeah, we did.
So a little bit of credence, a little bit there.
I mean, I'm sure lots of other outlets did too.
They did.
We did it better.
Well, you don't talk about them.
No.
It's all right. Anyway,
No, talk about the Tories instead. Here are 10 E3 2017 rumours.
You're not supposed to know. You just... Anyway.
Number 10, digital refunds on the X-Bone.
Yes.
This has been... I've already seen some other things about it. It's been kind of a speculated thing.
Mm-hmm.
People saying, oh, they should start doing it, and maybe they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But VG Leaks have posted a photo
Mm-hmm.
of a screen. Well, it outlines the details, basically, of how you're going to have these electronic refunds.
Which is something that is pretty much just the way that Steam do digital refunds.
Yeah,
And to be
right.
fair, like digital refunds have been a thing that just should be the norm.
Yeah.
Because everyone's been duped by games that they don't like, or games that they mispurchase, or whatever, and we're always stuck with them.
Yeah. Why should it be that there's one rule for physical?
Precisely. And obviously there are some caveats which I think you've got down as to like
Yes.
how long you can quote unquote own a game or play a game to make sure that people don't abuse the system. So there's
So
some of them.
tentatively, based on the image that was leaked, it's looking like you'll have up to 14 days to get your refund. You won't be able to claim a refund until you've had the game for a day.
Oh, right,
so you have to wait like 24
have to give it a
hours.
chance.
Yeah, give it a chance. And within that, you, I think you have to have played it or run it at some point. You can't just buy it and then refund it.
Oh, really?
They make you open it.
Okay.
But don't play it for more than 2 hours.
Right.
So there's a bit of a funny, there is a certain criteria, but they're all pretty reasonable.
Some games will be like, because all the outcry will be like, well, you better finish a whole load of indie games in that time.
Yeah.
Lol.
True.
Some of them are actually maybe that short.
God, that's a
inside.
good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some stuff is like just that short. Something like that game called Everything.
Yeah.
That's like a little indie game. You could probably get your fill on that and then return.
God, I
Don't
never
do
thought of
that,
that.
because the guy will get the money for it. But you could do it.
They reserve the right to withhold refund rights from anyone who's clearly abusing the system. So if you keep buying like 1 hour, 2 hour small indie games and then just giving them back,
They might catch on.
yeah, they will probably catch on. But
Fair one.
it's looking like that's going to be officially announced.
Yes, because I mean they're shifting into the Scorpio anyway, but they need consumer-friendly policies like this that just highlight how ineffectual the PS Plus offerings are.
Yeah.
And something like digital refunds is a godsend
Yep.
and should be the norm. So
That's true.
Number 9, what are your thoughts on another Arkham game?
I've heard about this. Do you know, my biggest thing is that they've forced themselves into this Arkham title. The format of the title.
Oh,
has to
God,
be
yeah, that's
Batman
the-
Arkham something. What's this one going to be called?
This one is called Batman Arkham Insurgency.
Yeah.
Me and Ben did a little video on this, which you can find on the channel, breaking down some of the more in-depth rumors. Because if the leak is correct, then everything has already been revealed about this. It's another prequel. It's not developed by Rocksteady. It's another Warner Brothers game. It's set after Arkham Origins. It's how Batman met up with Robin.
Okay.
And he's going up against the Court of Owls, which is a story arc from Scott Snyder's stuff, which is one of my personal favorites. Actually,
that's
love
cool.
the Court of Owls. And yeah, it's going to be this whole origin thing. Joker's still going to be in it, and.
With the new guy, right?
They haven't said. Well, no, I think. Yes, that was part of the rumors. Troy Baker would be back as
Troy
Joker,
Baker, that's
and it
the
would
one,
be Roger Craig Smith would be Batman, not Kevin Conroy.
Oh, okay.
So if all that's true, then Batman Arkham Insurgency is going to be debuted at E3. What do you think? Do you think Arkham's run its course?
I think it's one of those things
have
where they've done a good job pretty much every time. Not necessarily on release or on PC, but generally,
Yes.
it's been good. You always run the risk of doing that, like going one step too far.
Yeah.
And I think their record is good, and so their reasoning might be, oh, it's never gone wrong so far.
Batman.
Yeah, it's Batman. But it's just, you have to be careful. That's all I'm saying.
It is strange because, I mean, we still don't know what Rocksteady are up to. A lot of the rumours for Rocksteady were that they're going to pivot and do a Superman game and then a Justice League game and then a Suicide Squad game. None of those came true, and so we don't know what Rocksteady are doing. But we do know that they are done with Arkham.
He'll somehow lose all his gear by the end,
God.
so that in the timeline it makes sense for him
Oh,
to
I forgot how to counter two people at
Yes,
once.
right.
Oh, God. Anyway,
But that's the nature of game design.
sort of.
Okay, well, number 8.
Yes.
How do you feel about Bloodborne 2?
Oh, incredible!
Yeah.
I've actually got another rumor later on from Software.
Oh.
But Bloodborne, that's all Bloodborne 2. Did you play Bloodborne? Bloodborne.
I haven't finished Bloodborne.
Right.
I've played Bloodborne.
Did it destroy you internally?
It destroyed me, but I think I preferred the setting, and I know it was very similar, but it had some differences to Dark Souls, and I
Right.
thought there was just a bit more. It wasn't like gothic, like it wasn't like grayscale.
Did you not want that?
Do you know what I mean? No, I mean
love that.
it's Bloodborne itself is still gothic as but
Yes.
do you know what I mean? Like Dark Souls, I find is even sort of darker and more grayscale.
It's very it's very like fantasy, but like dark fantasy. It's kind of Eastern horror.
Whereas
yeah.
Bloodborne is still very much horror-ish, but it's less Eastern, I guess.
Yeah, it was way more like Cthulhu inspired, or
Yeah.
like Lovecraft inspired,
Yes.
Lovecraftian kind of stuff. Yeah, I absolutely love Bloodborne. I prefer Dark Souls, but I mean Bloodborne
Yeah.
seems to be the new direction they're going with. Assumedly, it's going to continue that game's sort of more frenetic approach to combat, where you can get your health bar back if you retaliate fast enough and keep on the move and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. I am game. There's actually not much to this rumor. I don't believe.
No, it's on NeoGAF. A Moon Studios dev said
Oh, that was what it
it
was.
was a tweet that said I'm 99% sure we'll see it.
Yes, because the initial, because I actually typed all these up and then we split it.
Yeah.
And that's how we're doing it. Anyway.
Yeah, thanks Scott for writing
That's
all
all
this
right,
and just
but not to
giving
worry.
me something to read.
It's all right, but yeah, the whole crack with this was that there was a screenshot taken of the Bloodborne 2, like the title
I
screen.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then later on, one of the guys from Moon Studios, who has nothing to do with From Software or Bloodborne, they're the guys that did Ori and the Blind Forest, and one of their developers tweeted out and said, "Oh, I'm 99% sure we'll see it."
Right.
And I'm like, "Are you friends with someone
How do
inside
you
From
know?
Software? Yeah, how do you know?" Okay, so number 7. Do you remember Scalebound?
I remember the name.
Right, Okay, number 7 is that Scalebound lives. Scalebound was the game that was going to be an Xbox One exclusive. It was developed by Platinum Games,
Right.
and it was all about like this like young Dante-looking dude who had a best friend who was a dragon, and it was meant to be this open-world exploration thing with a lot of loot and all that kind of stuff. And you did lots of dragon combos. It looked awesome.
Sounds
Basically.
good.
Yeah, right, and it did. It sounded really good, and then they just canned it. Microsoft were like, "Oh, we don't want that anymore." But very recently, the trademark's been renewed for it. Apparently, the leak has said that the game is not in development, but they would say that, wouldn't they?
Yes.
So why would you renew a trademark if you're not going to use it?
Exactly.
I mean, what are you, the mummy?
And they, as you said, Microsoft need to pull out all the stops to save not just the Xbox One, but to give Scorpio some legs.
Hank Scorpio.
Hank Scorpio. And in doing that, one of the best ways to do that might be to get some exclusives on.
Totally. And like one of the things with Scorpio being cancelled was that it made a lot of people go, actually, I really wanted to play that. And
Yeah,
it sort
right.
of got a nice renewal of energy behind it.
Yeah. Well, number 6. How do you feel about another Assassin's Creed?
Okay, I used to really like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
The direction that they've seen that they're going for this is exactly what it needs.
Yes.
But it's Assassin's Creed again. So it's well, go on. Go
Yeah,
on.
well, so that's the thing. You loved past tense Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, first three games great.
As we all did.
Not the number
Then
three.
it went weird, and no one knew what was going on. Well, this is a soft reboot,
Right, okay.
Allegedly.
Okay.
That's one of the things they needed. They need to cut back all this absolute guff about
Absolute guff.
like 80% of the real world stuff just makes zero sense, or it makes enough sense, but it's like I don't need this.
I can follow Metal Gear and I can't follow Assassin's Creed.
Right,
So
okay.
I'll tell you that.
This is one that again it's been going around for a while.
Yeah,
It's in Egypt by the looks of things, and the character is called Bayek.
It's either Bayek or Bayek.
Bayek.
Either way, yeah. The whole thing with Assassin's Creed is Ubisoft have already put a picture on their Facebook of just the logo.
Yeah.
So we know there's another Assassin's Creed themed thing coming, but they haven't actually gotten the whole hog and told us about it. That makes me think that this is their marquee thing for their presentation.
But there's also been that screenshot that was leaked.
Yeah, there was a screenshot leaked, and we saw the name of the characters called Bayek or Bayek or whatever. Ubisoft's million different departments clearly aren't in the best of sync,
Right.
and they've clearly shipped their merchandise before E3, and so now there's a T-shirt that's out there that confirms the character. There's the screenshot that confirms sailing, and there's a pre-order card that someone else has taken a picture of that says pre-order the Assassin's Creed Origins Deluxe Edition for like a bonus mission that delves into the creation of the pyramids. So
Right.
we know quite a lot about
Okay.
it, other than the fact that it's actually confirmed. We don't even know if it's called
It's
Assassin's
like
Creed
when
Origins.
the packaging for the merchandise for The Last Jedi came out like months before the trailer,
Yeah.
and everyone just saw what the costumes were going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
It's that like thing where all the merch people are like, oh, let's put that out. Oh God, actually, there's a load of info in that we shouldn't have done.
Probably should have held back. So number 5, I don't think you'll give that much of a crap about this, but Mario's teaming up with the Rabbids. Remember the Rabbids?
So what you're saying is Ubisoft
Yep.
are doing Rabbids things
Yep.
instead of giving me Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, I mean, they sort of looked at you and they went, "No, do you want the Rabbids again?" Remember
with,
them?
with Mario.
2009?
Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah.
With
They're,
Mario.
Yeah, because they really want you to really care about the Rabbids. I mean, to be fair, the Rabbids could have been the minions if they'd sort of pushed them in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same
If
approach.
they'd been
to,
like a DreamWorks movie instead of a video game.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like it could have been their massive franchise. So yeah, they're teaming up with the Rabbids, Super Mario and Rabbids to create a game called Kingdom Battle, which quite a lot's been released about this. Well, unofficially, a lot of it's been leaked, which confirmed that it's a turn-based RPG where you play as Mario and the Rabbids, and the Rabbids can dress up as iconic Mario characters, but you can also play as the Mario characters themselves.
Right.
So I don't know why you'd ever want to do that. Why not make the Rabbids dress up as other characters, other franchise people? Get Link in there or something. Like, why would you?
That's really odd.
Breathe in this awkward
It
silence. I don't get it.
literally is that they're like, oh, we've got Rabbids. That's kind of that's made. That's a package
Yeah.
to throw out somewhere. If we put it with Mario, then maybe people will like it more and pay more attention to it. A
So-
turn-based RPG with Rabbids dressed as Mario characters.
Kids love that. Kids love turn-based action.
Wow.
So yeah, that thing's on the Switch. I don't know if it's exclusively to the Switch. Might be on the 3DS as well. But for now, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is a thing.
Wowza.
Yes.
Number 4. Evil Within 2.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I think I'm one of the only people in the world who played the Evil Within.
Yeah, do you remember that? Remember that game?
I really loved the Evil Within. It went a bit mental at the end of the story, but you know, whatever. I think I really love Shinji Mikami. I really love Tango Gameworks. I really love the direction they took with it.
Yeah.
Did you play any of it? You want to?
Again, played it, but didn't
For the very
finish
beginning.
It. Yeah.
Do you remember the whole the village and the mist? And
Yes.
yes.
It was
Here you go.
heavy Resi 4.
Yeah, and like those vibes were great, and I think if
good
they go back into that sort of atmosphere and they really flesh it out, and they go less heavy on all the mind-boggling, oh my god, you're inside someone's mind, although that's inside someone else's mind,
Yes.
whatever, they can actually do a really good, really solid playing action game, action horror game.
This is from NeoGaf, highlighted the fact that a job posting is out
Right.
for Psycho Break 2, which
Yes,
is the
which is the name of
Japanese
Japan.
title.
Which I like that more than the Evil Within.
Psycho Break.
Psycho Break.
Yeah.
I personally am pretty psyched for an Evil Within too. So yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Number 3 is that one that I talked about before, the other From Software rumor.
Oh, yeah.
So the contrasting rumor, if Bloodborne 2 isn't true, or perhaps alongside it, is that FromSoft have an entire new IP, an entire new franchise called Phantom Whale.
Say what?
Yeah.
Whale as in WH?
No, oh god, no, it's not Metal Gear 5's Whale coming in.
Oh.
It's Phantom Whale as in, yeah, whatever a whale is.
Okay.
The noise we all made last night. Anyway.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not in that way.
Steady.
It's going to be a third-person action game, just like in the Souls vein, but it's going to be Aztec influence, and it's going to be all about martial arts and hand-to-hand combat, which is good and a brilliant concept, but Absolver are doing that. There's an indie game called Absolver that is totally that premise, minus the Aztec stuff. How gutted would you be if you're them?
Right,
Because
yeah.
your unique version of the Souls formula has just been pipped at the post by the dudes that are actually invented the whole thing.
But is that the one where it's kind of For Honor-ish, but with martial arts?
Yes, that's the Absolver one, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, this leak comes from 4chan, and if it's true, it's going to be a PS4 exclusive, because Bloodborne always is,
Yeah.
because Sony actually helped out with the development of that. So maybe that means that that's what this is going to be. And Hidetaka Miyazaki? Is that Hidetaki or Hidetaka? Hidetaka Miyazaki.
Yeah.
The creator of Souls, was asked about this years ago, about what he was going to do next, and he said, I'm going to do something that's a Souls-like, and it'll be directly inspired by Souls. So all of this kind of matches up.
Yeah. Well, number 2, this is very exciting.
Ooh.
I think even people who aren't that into this, it's interesting.
Oh, I think I know what this is.
Number 2, SNES Classic Mini. Now, even if you're not a SNES player, I think everyone knows that the SNES had some amazing games.
It's alongside the PS2 and the 360,
Yeah.
like the greatest consoles of all time.
Definitely. And so this is from Eurogamer. They were doing a whole report on not just this, but the state of like how the NES just disappeared.
Oh god, Nintendo's handling of the NES. I'm going to call it NES as well because we're English. Balls to you, NES people. The whole release cycle with that was so weird because they put it out and you're a company, you're going to market your product,
Right.
and they just kind of went, no.
Yeah, you need to buy it at Christmas. It's a Christmas must-have, but just for Christmas.
And I remember there was a report from, it was either Walmart or Target, who were literally being supplied 3 units. Because
Wow.
Nintendo's whole ethos is that if they keep the product, the actual supply low, they keep the demand high. But they don't actually make any money if they never get round to supplying the
right.
demand.
Yeah.
So it was a bit dumb after a while. They sort of just didn't supply enough NESs. So a few people got them, but that was all in aid of getting this idea established, I think, that it's going to be like a must-have
So
thing.
that's the thing. Like, so Eurogamer were talking about how Nintendo was saying it was never meant to be like a long-term product. It was just a Christmas treat for everyone. But based on that, now sources close to the company are saying, oh yeah, SNES Classic Mini, that's the next step. Based on the success of the first one, maybe this time they will realise, oh actually, if we just keep selling it, it will keep selling, rather than say no, none for you.
You want that? Nah.
Yeah.
I kind of think that what they're going to do is they'll do the SNES Mini, and I think it's because then that means that they then eventually do like the Mini N64,
64,
even smaller GameCube. I don't know.
the Mini Wii.
The Mini, the Mini Wii's marketing writes itself. Mini Me, get him in.
Wow.
What's his face? Dude that played Mini Me? Troy. You know him?
Not Troy Baker.
No, not the. He's the lesser of the two cool Troys.
Yes.
That guy, get him in. Point being though, they could do this kind of thing.
We're a pop culture website.
We haven't reported. He hasn't done anything in a while, to be fair, little Mini Me. But yeah, if they sort of do like a mini
Vern Troyer, sorry.
That's the one.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's not even Troy at all. Troy Baker, I'm sorry for putting you in the same category as Vern Troyer. But yeah, I mean, if they do this sort of weird release cycle, they can revisit different ones of these consoles and go, okay, this thing's available for 2 months, and everyone Black Fridays their way down to the mall to get it.
Yes.
And then they go, whoop, not for another 2 years, but here's an SNES instead. Here's an N64. I think that's how they'll do it. I think they'll just play like carrot on a stick with the consumer, because that's Nintendo.
Cheeky. What's number one, Scott?
Number one, my friends, is the new Bethesda IP that no one has even talked about at all. It is called
Starfield.
Starfield, indeed.
I know about this one.
Do you?
You didn't have to tell me about this one.
Oh, that's going to be the big reveal. Go on, what do you know?
Well, I just know that's pretty much all I know. They mentioned it years ago, didn't they, Starfield?
They did, apparently. They first conceptualized it just when Fallout 3 came out, which is back in 2008. And then apparently it went into pre-production in 2011, and they're eventually ready to unveil it now, or at E3. We don't know that much about it. I mean, you can kind of garner that it's a sci-fi game based on Starfield.
Yes.
I would assume. And that's pretty much it. But being Bethesda, you have to assume open world kind of combat, freeform combat, action heavy, whatever.
It sounds effectively like, in the same way that Fallout is basically Elder Scrolls.
Yes.
Starfield is going to be a new member of that family.
Yeah, and I hope that they take forward all the lessons that they learned from Fallout 4. They take forward the gameplay that the Doom devs helped them put together, the gunplay rather, and sort of apply that to a sci-fi setting. I mean, it kind of feels like a lot of the fantasy genre is jumping into sci-fi. Sorry, the fantasy genre is kind of jumping into sci-fi.
Right.
Like the developers of The Surge were one of the first developers to take the Souls formula and take that to sci-fi. And so if Bethesda, the titans of the whole thing, have gone, actually sci-fi is quite cool.
Yeah.
Maybe.
CD Projekt Red next, they'll be doing...
Yeah, Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
I'm all over that. Bring that in. I mean, 80s synthwave stuff is like in right now. We've got Blade Runner coming back. If Bethesda are going to capitalize on that with a full-on open-world sci-fi action RPG, yes. I mean, it'll be full of bugs and it's Bethesda, but we don't talk about that at this stage.
We just take it, don't we? It's like a sort of S&M relationship where Bethesda say, here's a game that we know you want. We're going to have to beat you a little bit.
And it will feel awful when you're doing it.
You'll cry for the first month.
But you'll still talk about it really positively afterwards. Because whatever. I mean, maybe they've made a new game engine.
Starfield. Oh my god.
Maybe they've finally actually done a new game engine.
Yeah, maybe they've been doing it for years.
Maybe that's what they've been waiting on.
First announced it.
And Fallout 4 was the last little hurrah for that. And maybe we actually get a Bethesda game that doesn't have any bugs in it.
Hurrah is a subjective term.
So yeah, that's our rundown of all the best E3 leaks and all the fancy rumors and all that stuff. Let us know down in the comments, whether any of it's come true already, because these things tend to break every few hours.
And remember to stick with us over the coming week to get all the coverage on E3, not just these things, all the things that are definitely going to be there, and go to the site where Scott and other people write about this stuff.
Yes.
And also they'll be doing a rundown of all the things going on.
Yeah, we're going to have full breakdowns of the conferences, and we'll delve into the news, we'll pick apart different speculations, all that fancy stuff, whatculture.com/gaming, and you can always come to the YouTube to find our most up-to-date ramblings as well.
Links in the description, and also links to the videos we mentioned today about Assassin's Creed and Batman.
Yes, which I'm pretty sure that we're right about, so you'll find out. And yes, I've been Scott from whatculture.com.
I've been Peter from whatculture.com.
And we'll catch you soon.
Yes.